Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Position out. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Check 59. Mike is 59.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 81 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One word for that opening play call, and that is aggressive, but it worked. First play from scrimmage, long touchdown pass.
Well, let's be honest about it. In our production meeting last night, we talked about when would the secondary get tested. I did not say that it'd get tested on play number 1. I knew as the game went along, they would take their shots, but that, as you said, a bold strike and very successful right out of the gate.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Come on, set. 10-2 stop. Screen, watch the screen. Hey, nice 7. Screen. Hey, look. 2.
Off play action. Holly. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go out there now and start playing like the team they want to be.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Y'all playing the wrong foot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
From the 24, Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there. 76 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 36-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Come on, D.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. 2nd down, it's Henderson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby.
Big grip. Big grip.
Throwing on 1st down. Holly. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Looking to throw. Holly. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On 3rd down, Holly, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He'll return it from the 6. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've been off to the races already. A 17-0 lead. Now a chance for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 83 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over him.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 1st down, Holly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
It's 2nd down and 10.
They'll come up now with the clock showing 3 seconds to go here in the 1st. Off the play fake. Holly. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Holly. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 10. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. 4 down. Alert. Mike, check. 59.
Jackson now. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2nd down, it's Henderson. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready.
Mike, 28. Hey, watch the slant.
Now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Holly. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Check pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Ready? Mark, 59, Mike. Check, 59. Oh, you got deep?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Here we go. Hatchet. Check it.
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Come on, QB, come on. Check.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Tucker's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is fielded a couple yards deep.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. This is Henderson, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Set up. 10-2 stop.
Check in. Rip right.
Operating from the gun, Holly. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That's good for 28 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Ready.
A final shot before break. Holly. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful, and it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
Especially for the final play of the first half to have the guts to do that. But I guess, what do we say? The end will justify the means, right?
No doubt about it. For you and me, we live, we learn.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Let's go now.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And
Bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, Holland. That's taken in by Henderson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Watch out.
Get it.
Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, it's Henderson. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Watch the slats. Let's go.
Henderson will try and run for the first. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first down, it's Samuels. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he's got this down to the 35. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 35. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Holland. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Let's go now. 50, plant.
Watch the run. Watch the run. It's soft, baby. That's baby soft.
Shoot.
From the gun, Holly. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
They run once more with Henderson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run with Henderson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down now, it's Henderson. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, here's Henderson. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23.
Let's go.
Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
First down, Steelers.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Recon, 132 fighter.
From the gun to give to Henderson. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's get in there. Ready?
Now it's Henderson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. The Steelers on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Holly, open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Rush in, rush in.
They'll run here with Connor. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Pull it high. Get it.
Again, it'll be Connor. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. On third down, here's Samuels. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 5, but still a decent ways from the end zone now on 4th and goal. This is a long drive. Offensively, wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as he'll go for it on 4th. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead.
Ravens 41, Steelers 14.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Go now.
The Raven
91.
offense set at the line for this next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Ready? 50, plant.
55. Hey, eat. Let's go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they take a knee.
Tonight's final score.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a loss that could wind up costing them a first-round bye as they dip to 9-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.